Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the Rocks.
Can I say I've never wanted to suck my teeth more than when this song was going on right now, and I had to fight it. I was like,
I'm telling you, the sniffing is
urge.
in there. I want to go.
As soon as it's like, everyone quiet down, we're going to play our song, it's like, I want to do so many things.
I want to be the loudest thing that I could possibly do. Delicious.
I always want to give myself a different name. Always.
Well, you can.
Clarice.
I know, but...
Hello, Clarice.
And I'm Clarice.
And this is...
Hannibal on the rocks. So how is everybody?
So good.
So good?
I'm so good. Yeah.
Oh,
How are you?
great. I can't wait to hear all about it. I do have a riddle for you guys.
Oh,
Riddle me this.
Yes.
I'm good at it. I'm not good at them.
Neither am I. This is going to be terrible.
Setting the expectations here.
Well, no, it's more of a thought-provoking riddle, and I just am curious as to how you guys would respond to it.
Okay.
Have you heard the saying, it's all downhill from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
we're both really prepared, but also we know there's like a hint of failure
so
in the
scared,
background.
yeah.
Also, I heard this on another podcast, so I can't take credit for this idea. I heard it and thought, well, that's a great question.
Okay.
Can it be
shit.
used for a positive or a negative? Which way? Like, because it can be used both ways.
To be like, it's all down here. If you're on a roller coaster, that's the funnest part.
well, that's what I mean. Like when you say it's all downhill, if you think about like the top is like when you're at the top, and now downhill is like you're
getting worse.
You're getting worse. But the saying is it's all downhill from me here, implying that it's all getting better from here.
I always use it as a positive at work.
Oh yeah, like all right, we've gotten through
the
hard
shit,
part,
yeah.
and now we're just breezing downhill.
Yes.
Right, and I think I have too, but then when they explained it as it could also imply, like it's an odd phrase to use because typically the top is the peak, like that's where you want to be, and then now it's downhill, it's like all the good stuff is gone.
I think I've used it negatively.
Have you? I don't know that I have.
Ugh, it's all downhill from here. Like we're just gonna keep getting worse now. It's just like
Okay, see, yeah, so it can be used both ways.
Because in my brain right now, I'm thinking of like, what's his name? Prometheus pushing the rock? Who pushes the rock up the hill in Greek mythology?
oh yeah.
I'm
Is it
thinking of
Prometheus?
that. So I'm thinking it could go both ways because if you're pushing the rock up the hill and you lose footing, it's all downhill from here.
Sisyphus.
And that's Sisyphus?
Sisyphus.
Why the fuck do I think? Prometheus is fire.
I like Prometheus better.
If you're pushing up the rock to get to the precipice of the
Right,
mountain,
yeah.
but you slip and you start going downhill from there, then you're never reaching
Yeah,
the
so
goal.
negative.
Or it could be that you've gotten it, like if
All
you're
the way,
trying
like
to
we've
traverse
done.
the hill, so you've gotten to the peak, you did the hardest part, and positively, it's all downhill from here, guys. Like smooth sailing, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, yes, I agree. And I think I've only ever used it in that context. Like,
Yes.
it's all downhill. Like, we've gotten through the hardest part because all
Yes.
of that was uphill. And now we're coasting, right?
And you use it negatively?
I think I've used it both actually. Like, it's gonna be easy breezy moving forward. It's all downhill from here. But I think I've also been like, oh wow, we've really jacked up and it's just all gonna go downhill from here. We can't even save it.
Wow. See, that's why I thought it was an interesting phrase. Didn't understand the negative connotation to it until they talked about it. And I thought, oh, I need to ask the girls about this. Interesting. Okay. Well, then
is
there was
interesting.
the other potential riddle that has nothing to do with that, but is also a phrase that you use in multiple ways is, do you turn the air up or down?
I get confused about this all the time because I want the air on and colder. So I want
turn it
there to be
down.
more air. So turn up the air.
But turn the
But my
temperature
husband
down.
wants you. If I say turn up the air, he's like, "You want the heater on?"
Yeah, yes, because he's
That's
thinking
how,
temperature.
because numerically it's going up.
Yes.
You're saying turn it up and like
Like,
thrust
the
the
flow.
air.
More thrusting on me.
Like you want a higher.
You're talking about high
fan
capacity
speed.
airflow.
Yes.
And he's talking about the numeric piece of it.
Yes.
I take it as the numeric piece too.
Yes, and it's constant struggle in my house because I
Like,
will
turn
say,
it
"Oh my
up. And
gosh,
he's like,
turn
oh my
the air
God,
on.
74.
Turn
Are
it
you a
up."
lizard?
Yes. So if I'm like, can you turn up the air? And
No, because I would be like, turn it up. You want it hotter? Do you want it colder? Do you want it more
Both.
air? Do you want less?
I always say turn up the air because I want more air. I want more of this cold to hit my body.
Which one are you asking for? I get it.
You know what people think is a word, and I can't fucking stand it?
Oh my God. Okay. Tell me, because you know I love me a good vocabulary.
Conversate.
Oh.
How often do people use the word converse?
All the fucking time.
Because they think it's like
converse.
a smart word.
Yeah,
I
they're
know
trying.
it's converse, but who is saying this so frequently?
Oh, when we conversated, and I'm like, conversed. And they were like, huh? I correct people all the time.
Conversated is almost a struggle to say. That's so funny.
We haven't conversated in a while. Conversed. Conversed. You could even say talked, you big dumb fuck.
Seriously, you could have just made it better by saying
hadn't
we
spoken in a
haven't
while.
talked in a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to have a conversation,
We need to conversate.
drives me bananas.
That and corporate talk, that drives me wild. Like, we need to close the loop so that we can.
You want to put a pin in it?
Yeah, put
I
a pin in
can't
that.
stand
We need
the
to parking
pin in
lot
it.
this. Like, oh my God.
We're gonna put this in the
parking lot. This?
Yes.
I've never heard that.
We're gonna put this in the parking lot of our meeting, and then
Ew.
if we have time,
Yeah.
we'll circle back.
Because
Circle
it's-
back.
Circle back because it's conversation that doesn't belong in
take
this
this-
meeting. So we're
let's
going to
take this
stick it in the
offline.
parking lot. Oh, let's take this offline.
I think that needs to be taken offline. The group
Yes.
doesn't need to discuss that. Thanks,
It's
Mark.
just so funny.
I have never used or
Any of
heard-
those?
I feel like my place of employ is way more casual.
Oh.
Yes. If we are in a meeting with executives, then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll circle back to that talk.
We need to circle back on the KPI and the and all the acronyms.
Oh,
I've never said
KPIs.
let's talk about that offline, but I have said like let's talk about this off the call.
Oh, yeah, offline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
offline.
I
Yeah.
hate it so much.
I want to look up other corporate jargon things.
because there's a lot.
All right. Meetings and communication. Touch base.
Oh,
Talk to
touch
someone.
base, yeah.
I touch base all the time.
Touch base
I
all
have
the
them on my
time.
calendar.
Please don't touch my base.
I do have a lot of touch bases.
You don't tell me what to do in my world. Circle back, ping me, sync up,
Ping
and never
me.
use this. Offline this, or
Yeah.
put a pin in it. On my radar.
Oh,
That's another one.
on my radar.
I use per my last email.
oh, I don't use that hardly
I do
ever.
because people piss me off. Or per the attached email.
Parking lot.
Oh my god! that
Move
sounds like
the
someone
needle.
Oh,
we need to move the needle.
Yes.
Okay, I have heard that one. That
Pivot.
one.
I don't use.
Oh, pivot.
I do.
Yep.
Low hanging fruit.
Oh,
they
low-hanging
fucking love
fruit.
that.
Yeah.
Boil the ocean
Huh?
to overcomplicate everything. I want to use that.
Boil the ocean?
You don't have to boil the ocean to get this done, you guys. Let's.
Have you
I'm
seen
gonna use that one.
the TikToks where they start using other types of jargon, like hair jargon or like
Yes.
fantasy book jargon, in order to like seeping it into corporate America?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. But
Where
give
it's
me an
like-
example. You need to double coat that mascara.
Yes. Like stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Does this really feel like it needs to be a balayage when it could be a touch up?
Yeah, she was putting stuff in like that. Or those are good.
These I use frequently. Deep dive,
Oh, deep dive.
I do deep dive.
quick win.
I guess maybe. Don't use it
Best
often.
practice.
Oh, best practice. I use
best
that
practice
a lot.
the fuck out of someone who's doing something that pissed me off.
I send an email that has best
Lessons
practices in almost weekly.
Lessons learned. Oh, bandwidth.
Oh, bandwidth. Do you have the bandwidth for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we use that a lot.
Let's discuss your bandwidth in the next meeting because I want to drop a few more tasks on your plate.
Yeah. Good times with corporate jargon.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right. Good times.
Now that we've
All right.
corporate jargoned ourselves, let's.
Let's talk about this book. This week, we're deep diving the Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. Rox, hit us with an author.
All
A
right.
mild autobiography, if you will.
Amber V. Nicole is a best-selling dark fantasy and romantasy author known for the Gods and Monsters series. The saga originally penned as an urban fantasy, which I had to look up because I wasn't sure what the difference of that and a dark fantasy was, during her high school and college years. It blossomed into a committed 7-book series driven by Amber's belief in full story development. I think initially in an interview I read that they only wanted it to be like 3 or 4 books or something, and she would not have it. She wanted it to be 7 because that's how she envisioned it to be.
Well, good for her for fighting for what she wanted.
Did
Yeah.
she get, this is a 7-book series?
Yes.
Yes.
Damn, girl. I think you should have probably stuck to the
Okay, so inspired early on by Janine Frost's Night Huntress series, Amber channels her paranormal romance roots into crafting complex heroines like Diana, normally gray, emotionally driven, and unapologetically fierce with a core that remains unchanged even as she evolved. A former veterinarian medicine school student, Amber ultimately followed her writing-driven passion. When she's not immersed in fantasy worlds, she finds creative inspiration through video games and anime, which feed the immersive landscapes and character arcs of her novels.
What landscapes?
Amber values her reader community deeply, often describing conventions like Fayball as friendships built over mutual love of storytelling rather than traditional author-reader experiences.
I do want to say I would love to attend a Fey ball or some sort
Me
of.
too.
That sounds like a grand time.
I don't think Rox would like it, but I would.
Probably not.
We'll slap some little fake ears on your ass. You'll get to wear a ball gown. We'll drink and dance.
You can wear a nice dress and vampire teeth. Are you into
Yeah,
vampires?
I'm into
any-
like spooky things. So yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
It's like
Good.
dress up night, but it's like formal dress up.
I'll
and
make.
fun.
We could do makeup and do some like your skin can be falling off or something.
Okay, I like it. All right, so I'll hit you with the summary.
Okay. Yes.
So the Book of Azrael follows Diana, a sharp-willed heroine burdened by grief who strikes a dangerous bargain with Sam Kyle, a powerful figure feared even among monsters, to save what she holds dear. As tensions between ancient realms edge toward all-out war, Diana and Sam Kyle must navigate betrayal, buried truths, and the pull of something neither fully trusts. Rich in mythological world building and morally gray characters, the story blends high stakes, slow burn tension, and the question of how far we'll go to protect those we love. All
Okay,
right.
so our cocktail today, inspired by the Book of Azrael, we're calling it the World Ender. So we told Cliff Quillerton III, to make a cocktail inspired by the Book of Azrael. It should be dark, moody, and maybe a little gothic. It's a slow burn too, but not sure if that should be included in the cocktail inspo. You decide. And here is what Cliff said. Dark, mysterious, seductive. This cocktail evokes ancient magic, forbidden power, and the slow unraveling of desire. A rich, velvety blend of darkness and allure, best enjoyed under moonlight or while scheming with death himself. I don't know about that. But
I think I'll pass, Cliffy.
but the cocktail is 2 ounces of black vodka, which we use regular vodka, and activated charcoal, a half an ounce creme de cassis, 3/4 of an ounce fresh lemon juice, a 1/4 of an ounce simple syrup, dash of black walnut bitters, and then a sprig of charred rosemary for garnish.
Okay.
Let's try this. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh,
I kind of like that.
Okay, so we did, and actually I didn't say this, but we ended up smoking some wood chips with the rosemary on top and kind of putting the cup over it, giving it sort of an old. I don't know how
It's
I feel
good,
about
but
it.
I don't know that I could drink.
It's definitely
A lot of
smoky, herby,
Yeah.
but fruity.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh.
good. It's not bad. I feel like if you like a
this is a
smoked-
sipping drink.
Yes.
It's like an old fashioned that you
I was
like.
gonna say,
you
if
sip.
you like an old fashioned, but think a little bit sweeter and fruitier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Definitely
definitely
has those
more
vibes.
fruit
At
heavy.
least I have the rosemary to stir it.
All right, let's get into this book. We're going to start with My Chumpies, chapters 1 through 10. Diana Martinez interrogates Celestial Peter. She is Igmorthan, but was once mortal. After the gods' war, celestial and mortal worlds collided. Diana represents Caden. He's a freaking monster. Diana licks blood from Peter's face, which allows her to enter his memories, but she can just see his memories by drinking some of his blood.
It's part of the creature that she is, being an Igmorthan. She is a special one, and she has the power to drink your blood and see your memes.
Yeah, and Igmorthans, apparently, they are, which I had never, is this a common term? Igmorthan? Do
I don't
people
know.
who are
I've
into
Maybe
fairy-
in the fantasy worlds.
Yeah, but I've
I've
never-
read a lot of
Yeah.
fantasies, and I have not yet met once Igmorthan until this book.
But they survive by drinking people's blood and like
But they're not vampires, because vampires are like
derivative from or derived
from early
Igmorthan.
Igmorthans.
She enters his memories where Peter discusses attacks on celestials and a prophecy of, quote, he is returning. Peter walks into the Illyrium fortress. Diana exits the blood dream to find Alistair, who controls Peter by reconstructing his brain. So Alistair can like enter people's minds without licking any blood. Doesn't have to have
He
blood.
is
just
also Igmorthan.
but he can enter people's brains and then control them. Peter is basically now their inside spy, but he's an unwilling spy. He's not.
He's a puppet, basically.
Yes, he's basically a puppet. Diana and Alistair seek the book. But Peter lacks info. They portal to their volcanic island home, Novice, where Tobias waits. Tobias is the third of like Caden's main people.
He's got 3 henchmen.
Yeah. Alistair, Tobias, and Diana.
Diana is number 2.
Yeah.
And then it's Alistair, and I think Tobias is 3rd on the chain, right?
Oh, I think
Or
Tobias is the one that was like number 1, and then when Diana came around, she kicked him out of that number 1 spot.
So Diana's
and Alistair's
3rd in
like,
command.
I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? It's just, I'm here and I'm alive.
Right.
Sucking down blood.
Novice is a volcanic island with tunnels. Caden created Igmorthans. So Caden he's like turned people, but Diana, Alistair, Tobias, they're unique. They join a meeting of various supernatural creatures. Caden is Diana's maker, lover, and keeper of her sister Gabby. He calls a meeting for the otherworld creatures, including vampires, witches, banshees, shades, and werewolves. What are shades?
A spirit of a dead person, particularly those from the underworld.
So like a ghost.
Ghosties.
The vampires send
He gets
low-level reps. So everyone, Caden's like the king of all the kings, overseeing all these creatures.
Otherworld creatures.
Yes, and they're all gathered. All the kings of these creatures have gathered under Caden's call, except for the vampires. They're just sending these low-level reps, and Caden is pissed. Caden like slams his hand down. It splits the table. Everyone is just kind of pushed back. They don't have to move. This is great magic. Just move the chairs around.
I imagine, like, you know, the old school tables that have the leaf in the middle? It's like he split the table preparing for the leaf, but instead of a leaf, it's a lava.
It's lava flow. And then discusses the Book of Azrael and how he's after it. The group fears Sam Kael, the world ender, that might be drawn to this book.
Like, if you bring this book out of hiding, he will come back, and he is the world ender, and they
Yes.
are all terrified of him.
Caden uses Diana as bait. Okay, so once he opens up this lava pit, he's like, Diana just snaps, and she's like, I'm on. It's my show. And she goes and she takes the vampires and she throws them into this lava pit, all of them. But one of them says, please don't, which all the vampires have this accent if you listen to the audiobook.
Yes, they sure do.
She's like, please don't, I have a family. And
And she pauses.
and she pauses because the reason why she's even in this mess is because of her sister. She did this all to save her sister. She has a family. So she resonates with this vampire. And then she realizes she's in this daze, and Caden's like looking at her like, do not show weakness. And she's like, oh shit, I gotta throw this guy into the pit. And then she kills him. And she is literally a beast. Like, she's got claws.
She can turn into a beast.
Yes, yes. And she has this beast that kind of lives under her skin in the back of her mind that craves blood and wants to.
Igmorthan
Yes,
within her.
yes. So she even makes a comment that she's in this beautiful gown. She's just done this awful thing to these vampires, and she still has gore left on her, and she'll like wipe her face, but just smears the gore on her face. So anyways, Caden uses Diana. He reminds her she can't show weakness. Igmorthans are nearly immortal. Every Igmorthan has a different way of dying, but Diana has like been torn apart so much they assume it's because if you remove her heart, it's going to kill Diana, because that's the
Yeah.
only thing she hasn't.
It's the only
had
thing that
ripped from
hasn't
her.
had
Yes.
happened yet, but she's lost her head, all of her limbs. Like, she's been blown up.
decapitated.
Yeah.
She's been, yes. Caden sends Diana to go kill Drake, which is one of her very good friends who's befriended her from the beginning when she first changed, and now Diana has to go and kill Drake. In a club, Drake fights Diana, refusing to follow Caden. Diana kills Drake by incinerating his heart, and right afterwards, she realizes Caden saw the whole thing through a video camera, and he allows her to go visit Gabby. Like, good girl, you get to go see your sister now. Here's a treat. Diana visits Gabby, who hates Caden, but really, she's only alive because of Caden, so I think she understands Diana's ties to Caden, but Diana doesn't feel like there's any way out because she's protecting Gabby. Gabby is immortal, but she's not a monster, unlike Diana. Gabby's boyfriend, Big Dick Rick. Oh God, the way she sees him, like she gets to the house, she's like, Gabby, I'm here. And it's all quiet. She's like, wait, where is she? And she opens the door and she's like, who are you sleeping with, sister? Hey. And he jumps up and she's like, oh, you finally gave Big Dick Rick a chance.
She's like, Diana!
Gabby's boyfriend Rick is at the apartment. Diana reminds her sister that he can only be temporary lover because he's mortal and she's not. A couple days later, they're watching the news and there's this earthquake that comes on the TV, and Diana feels uneasy, and she's almost positive that there's something.
It's not just natural, something's happening.
It's not just an earthquake because of where it's located and all the things. So she feels uneasy. She checks her phone. Nothing. So she just, okay, I'm getting back into vacation with my sister. She feels uneasy, and then they go to a club. In the club, she meets a man with these silver rings. She sees a girl with these silver rings, and she just keeps feeling these weird...
She feels like another power is there, but she doesn't, like,
she can't
she's not
recognize
tracking it.
She keeps checking her phone to see if Caden has reached out, and now it's been weeks and he hasn't. So
she's living her life with Gabby.
yes. At lunch, Gabby urges Diana to leave Caden again. Diana senses danger. So they're at this lunch, and there's only a few intimate moments. Like, they have a really shallow, like, we're not going to talk about the hard stuff relationship because the hard stuff is too hard. And, like, there's nothing we can do to change it. We disagree, and that's it. So there's, like, a moment at lunch where Gabby's like, you've got to leave Caden. Like, you've got to have a life outside of him. And she's like, I can't because that puts your life in danger. It is what it is. We'll figure it out later. All of a sudden, Diana senses danger. And when she turns around, it's Alistair. He, like, grabs him by the neck, and she's like, you don't scare me. But Alistair comes to collect her. Traveling to a forest tomb, Diana, Alistair, and Tobias explore ancient ruins. Diana discovers an underground library with ancient scrolls. She was told to, like, kind of sit tight, and that was Caden's orders, and she just feels like, I've got to go. There's something here. I've got to go explore. So she finds these ancient scrolls, and there's a man with silver rings. He attacks Diana. He's part of the Hand, trained by the God King. They fight and try to extract info from each other.
He's like, what are you looking for? And she's like, why are you here?
Yeah. Caden appears, severs his hands. The guy's name is Ezekiel. Ezekiel traps them with energy, which is a weird thing too. Like, this is maybe what you were talking about a little bit. It's not so much that I needed world building, but what the hell is happening in this where he's like, he hits the ground and all this electricity comes through.
Right, like the Hand and the God's power are based on electric. But also, they found this because they went to this forest, and she was like, I feel something here. Is it underground? And then the ground bottoms out, and then she lands in. Yeah, she lands in these, like, I want to say, like, underground tunnels, and that's how she finds this library. Like, that's not modern day.
Okay, all right.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Picking up what you're putting down.
You need a little bit of, it's urban, but it should have also been a little bit.
Like, I'm cool calling it a dark fantasy. Don't tell me. Like, Crescent City is a legit, like, urban fantasy. It's in the city.
Yeah.
This didn't feel that way to me.
Diana transforms and breaks through these things that even the other guys can't get out
I just
of.
imagine them being like circles of like energy that are like caging them to the spot.
You know how in The Incredibles, the girl who has the force field, she can like wrap them around her?
Yes.
That's what I imagine them looking like. And then her trying to break out of it would cause pain though. Like I feel like in The Incredibles, it's just like, this is a wall and we can see these like glowing blue orbs. But she's, if you touch it, it's going to be electricity.
Okay.
That's what I imagine this part as. And she breaks through it, which Ezekiel is surprised by. Like, how did you even, he's confused by her. How, you're not supposed to be able to break free from this stuff. And she even shatters the sword when they're fighting each other. They've like sword fighting. She like grabs his sword and just squeezes. And he's like, how did you break this? She's like, anything can break with the right amount of pressure.
She's such a powerful being.
So Ezekiel is just very surprised and confused by who she is and what she is, and even says a comment like, "You don't know, do you?" I don't know if we ever find out what he's referring to. So, knowing he's trapped, he ends up killing himself with his own blade.
And like as he's killing himself, he asks,
he's like, "Sam Kyle, give me passage,
yeah,
to the heavens."
Yes, just like that.
Also, he takes it, he like pushes it, he has an earring or something, he like grabs it and it turns into a blade.
All of the silver that they wear is individual blades. So every ring that they have, every earring, every bracelet, it's a weapon.
Yeah. And Diana's very snarky throughout the whole book. And so like her inner thoughts are like, how many of these damn things do you have on you? Like, can you stop pulling out weapons and just like, let's just hand-to-hand combat.
Tussle, brother.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So now we switch to Liam's POV.
Who is Sam Kyle?
He is on a different world, I think. And
you would know if there was world building.
Yeah, he's like in this different world where he's in
his world that like, but it was where the war happened, and then I imagined it like a portal opening and the Celestials escaping through this portal, ending up in the world that they're in now, which is kind of like an Earth. But he stayed away from everyone in the decrepit planet that is no longer inhabited by anything. He's alone on this desert isle in the stars. We wouldn't know because you didn't fucking tell us.
There's a random stag that he makes friends with, but we'll talk about that in a second. So he suffers nightmares of fighting the Igmorthans during the Gods' War.
He's got PTSD.
Yeah, he
like
does
a
for
motherfucker.
Sure. Well, he lost his dad in this war, which you kind of hear a little bit of it. But there's a goddess urges him to find his father to save their world. Liam remembers his father's disappointment. He's heir to the godly throne, but reluctant. He fears others won't accept him. Liam awakes, battles headaches and anxiety, and he while he's sleeping and having these nightmares, he loses control of his powers. So he'll wake up to the world in disarray because he's lost his control over his power and something's happened.
That's why he tries to stay away because he's not stable.
Yes. So he receives a message from Imogen, a member of the Hand, requesting his presence. He hears the chant, Samkael, grant me passage. This is while he's going on runs because he's trying to get away from these nightmares. He's got anxiety, so he goes on this long run. He's like, when's the last time I took a bath? When's the last time I ate? I don't even know. And he sees some water. He's like, I'm gonna jump in this water and get some of this stank off me. And so he does, and then he gets redressed and he sees a stag and he's like, we're friends now. And I'm going to talk to you about all my issues because there's not a good therapist left on this planet. And so he's talking to the stag and he's feeding it berries. And he does talk about how he can change the molecular structure of things. So he gets the berries and he removes all the seeds and gives them to the stag. And while he's outside, the stars and beautiful. And then it's Samkael, grant me passage, which signifies death. He flies through the worlds. The Hand informs him that Ezekiel is dead. Okay, Liam's friend Logan gives him a computer to learn the language of the realm. Liam intends to stay briefly to avenge Ezekiel. Liam is debriefed and learns of suspects: Diana, Gabby, Tobias, and Alistair. Their surveillance shows they are all Igmorthan. He's getting all these pictures, and the only one that's even kind of gives him, he's getting all these pictures of Diana in different areas.
And he's like, who is this attractive beast?
Yeah, well, she's beautiful. I had no idea. And then there's
who knew Igmorthans could be hot?
They don't even realize she's Igmorthan until the very last photo. There's a picture of her with his red bloodshot eyes. And he's like, Igmorthan. The citizens of the world were irate, seeking help from Liam. Vincent, leader of the Hand, tries to calm the crowd. They fear that Igmorthans have returned and another war of the worlds would commence. A man, Henry, stood up to Liam, stating he was expecting more from the world ender. Definitely antagonizes him. Mm-hmm. Henry turns slowly into Diana. And the way that they describe it in the book is the man's legs all of a sudden become
shapely.
Yeah. This is a beautiful woman, not an ugly Henry. Liam calls her captivating and dangerous. Diana comes forward as the one who killed Ezekiel. She ignited fires in her hands and she lit the room on fire. She makes a comment hope you guys, it takes all this to kill you guys, but I hope you guys are fireproof. Liam commands Logan to get everyone to safety and runs after Diana. He finds her searching for books. She charges at Liam, but she missed. She held a forbidden blade made to kill gods. She lands a blow into his back. She ripped the blade out and found that he cannot die by that blade. She charged again, but Liam cut off her arm.
And the whole time this is happening, he cuts off her arm and she's like, that was a nice jacket, asshole. And he's, again, not from this world, so he's like, he's internally confused by what she's calling him.
When they gave him a computer, he's like, there's 6,000 lessons or 6,000 different languages on this planet, and I have only learned half of them in 24 hours. Yeah. So he doesn't really speak her language. He's like, what is asshole?
You mean the butt?
Yes.
The hole in my ass.
She just keeps making these snarky remarks as they're fighting. Her arm grows back in seconds. She was distracted. Alistair whistled for her, and he used his power to tether her as she launched as a wyvern into the sky. He was confused because only 4 Igmorthans he knew had her powers.
Then we jump into chapters 11 to 21. We're in Liam's point of view still, and Diana was unconscious for days after his power hit her because he basically lassoed her out of the sky as a wyvern and pulled her ass back down. So Liam reminisces about his celestial mother who raised him with love. And despite joking with the members of his Hand, Logan, Liam feels joyless. He's just an unhappy little sucker with PTSD.
He's definitely suffering through depression, PTSD.
Anxiety.
There's a lot of,
He's got mental health, he's got the whole buffet inside of him.
The whole buffet.
Then we jump to Diana's point of view. She wakes up dizzy and in pain in this strange escape-proof cell. She is trying to get out, lighting it, burning it. Like, she tries for days to get out of this bitch. Haunted by Ezekiel's suicide and memories of near death. So when she became Igmorathan, her and Gabby were mortal. And they had this like near death experience. She remembers Gabby being to the point where she had just like given up on life, and she saw that look on her sister's face, and that's when she made a deal with Caden and they both turned Igmorathan.
And they mentioned like that's why she doesn't have a whole lot of powers, because she was so close to death that the change actually just
saved her
life. It
like
didn't give her powers.
Exactly. But she remembered seeing that same look on Ezekiel's face, and so that's why it's haunting her. So for 2 days, she tries to escape, but fails. Liam, Logan, and Vincent visit. Diana finds Liam attractive with his new haircut because he was shaggy. This whole time, they're talking about like, oh, we're mortal enemies, but damn that ass, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically
Like
this
they
whole...
don't want to like each other, but then they do, and they're
But they're hot for
commenting on
each
their
other.
physical appearances
Yes.
the entire time.
Yes, so Diana...
Like he's such a horrible asshole, but those abs.
Yeah. But that ass and those jeans. God damn.
I think she does say that in one part.
Diana is cuffed with these power dampening chains and she's taken to an interrogation. So basically the rule is you tell me the truth or you get burned with my power. So she's forced to look at pictures of her friends, and Liam is just there berating her like, I hate Igmorathans. You all are all beasts and monsters. I thought we killed you in the war. How are you here? And he was like, you had that look of recognition on your face. Maybe I should go ask her, your sister, Gabby. And Diana swears she'll kill him. Like, she lashes out, I'll kill you if you touch her. Oh, and he was like, that's the bitch we going after. After Ezekiel killed himself, in the seconds that happened, she teleported from that library area into Gabby's house, and she's like, go to the safe house, initiate plan B, it's go time. Don't answer the door unless it's me. And then she teleports back to the death scene.
It's wild.
Yeah. Alistair shows up outside of her cell while she's being held by these Celestials and blames her and was like, you were told to be a distraction. You were not told to engage with the world ender and start a fight. Like, you were so dumb to think you would take on the king of the gods and beat him. Like,
The literal world ender.
Yes.
and you were over there
And
with
I
your
don't
little
mean our
twin
cocktail.
flames.
Yeah.
And so she's like, no one's coming to save you. Like, you're here. You got yourself in, get yourself out. She starts refusing food, and then she gets transported in this armored truck. The truck gets attacked. A monster rips Logan from the vehicle. Peter, Alistair's puppet, who is one of the Celestials, informs Liam the transport is ready. Liam trained to suppress his nightmares, so he's running, he's working out, he's doing all the things to keep his nightmares at bay. Everything but sleeping is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Vincent confronts Liam about his lack of grief. Like, you're not mourning Ezekiel. The fuck, dude? So Liam reflects on how he knows how to rule, he knows how to be a king, but he doesn't know how to love. And his obsidian ring is a grief-forged weapon that causes permanent damage. So it's the Blade of Oblivion. It's his black ring. It's not silver. And when he summons it, it is the world-ending knife. And he created it out of grief when his dad was dying. That's how he ended the war.
And that's how he got the nickname the World Ender.
Which he hates. He also hates being called Your Majesty. Anything that's pompous or has anything to do with him.
Like
Doesn't even
royalty.
like being called Sam Kyle.
No, he doesn't. He
He's
doesn't like
I
his
hate
name.
that name. I
Call
hate
me
that
Liam.
name.
I'm Liam. Oh.
Yeah. Liam. Yes, he hates every name that you possibly call him except for Liam, and he tells you, Sam Kyle. I don't like that name. Don't call me that. Oh, master.
Like, don't call me that either. Your Majesty. Like,
Don't call me that. I hate that name.
I hate that. Stop it. So then we jump to Diana's point of view, and she's waking up and seeing that Tobias was healing her. She still has her handcuffs on, and Alistair is in the process of stabbing Logan. They take off the cuffs.
Which she's kind of talked to a lot of these people now, and I feel like she's throughout. You see, she doesn't love when Alistair is causing pain in people's memories and taking over their.
She hates when he shatters their brain.
She doesn't find joy out of any of this. It's just she only is feeling like she has to do these things because of this obligatory whatever she has
keep
with
Gabby safe.
Caden to keep Gabby safe. And now she's talked to some of these people, and it's like, okay, I've been stuck here with them. I've kind of learned a little bit about their life, just a smidge that she needed to know, and she feels some type of way watching Alistair stab Logan.
Right. So she gets her powers back. She gets some of Logan's blood. She eats some of it. They're like, you need to eat to power up. And she realizes he's not scared to die. All of his last thoughts are of the love of his life, his wife, his mate. That's what it would be if I was dying. I could only think of Gabby. She kills Alistair with Logan's blade and saves Logan. She teleports Logan back to the city and finds Liam. And she basically is holding him.
She kills Alistair in that moment?
Yes.
So what happens to all of his puppets? Do they just not be puppet anymore?
Yeah, they just died.
Oh, they just die.
And that's
it's
part
like
of
a
her
big
telling
deal.
him, like, all of the people who you find dead were his puppets. So we were infiltrated into your place.
Dang.
She brings Logan and she uses him as a bargaining chip to propose a truce in exchange for Gabby's protection. And she's like, I don't want word of mouth. I want a blood oath.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone is up in arms about this blood oath. Because basically, if Gabby gets harmed,
oh, yes.
then Liam forfeits his life. And if Diana doesn't do all the things she's supposed to do to help Liam get rid of Caden, they die. That's their blood oath. They make the deal that after they deal with Caden and her sister is safe, Gabby will then atone for her crimes and be indebted to Liam.
She does not care about herself
At all.
at all.
She's all about keeping Gabby safe.
Yes.
Which part of me understands, but there's also, I don't know, care about yourself a little bit, right?
I mean,
I think she's immortal. She has nothing left to live for if Gabby's not around.
Her
so
whole life is just living for other people.
She's
and
never
living
lived for herself.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
well, the reason she got turned into the beast was to save Gabby to begin with. So she's like, if I'm not this,
but I think even Gabby feels like we've lived hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, would it be so bad
for you to find love.
to die?
Or for you to,
like, for me to not be here anymore.
Yeah.
yeah.
So then it jumps back to Liam, and he's like, all right, cool. We have this blood oath. I'm still interrogating you. I need information. So they interrogate again, and Diana starts giving him some intel. She tells him about Caden, how he's the king of the otherworld creatures, his creations of the Irakuva, which are failed. When he tries to turn people into Igmorathins, he's only successfully done it with the three, so Tobias, Alistair, and Diana. Every time they fail, it creates these like shadow creatures, Irakuvas. They have claws, they can fly, they got flying Irakuva everywhere. She tells Liam about Caden's search for the Book of Azrael, and Liam this whole time is like, well, he's dumb because that doesn't exist. There is no book from Azrael. Like, I saw him die. There is no book.
He never got off the planet that I just came from. Like, it's in ruins. There is no book.
Liam's like, okay, where is Gabby's location so I can bring her here? And Diana's like, yo, I need to come with you. She's not going to answer the door. And he's like, you've done enough for the day. You stay here. Liam teleports by himself to the seaside cottage where Gabby's hiding out. And he senses danger, but he looks around and he like counts heartbeats. And he's like, oh, there's like 54 people around me because I can sense their heartbeats.
Oh, yeah.
But something feels off and he's not quite sure. And he's like, well, it's probably just because I have anxiety and all these people are fucking loud. So I'm going to go in and get her.
As soon as he breaks into the world after
It's like
Ezekiel
a lot
dies,
of
he's
noise.
like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to shut up.
Yes. He's like knocking on the door and she's like, oh, well, I'm just looking for something. I'll be right there. And then she opens the door and she shanks him with a forsaken blade. And then he's like, the fuck? He's like, why did you stab me? And she's like, ah, and runs inside. Like, I thought that was going to kill you. And then these smoky figures appear at the end of the hallway and they're coming out of the floor and they're coming from the elevator shaft. Liam starts fighting these creatures and then his palm starts burning and he turns and sees that Gabby's being dragged away by these shadow creatures. So he's able to grab Gabby and flee as the ground starts to shake. And Gabby's like, that's not an earthquake, that's Diana. So powerful. Jump to Diana's point of view. Diana broke free of the bonds that she had and teleported when her palm started burning. She yells at Liam for not taking her, and Gabby tries to break them up and tells Diana to be kinder to him. Back with the hand, Gabby is giving a beautiful apartment. Diana searches the house for hidden cameras and asks Gabby to get close to Nevera, which is Logan's mate. And she wants Gabby to gain information. She's like, don't trust them, but I need info. I need you to help me. She's like, I did a blood oath. She's like, you're being bound to another powerful man, Diana. Like, when will you live for yourself?
Never.
Never.
Is the answer.
So Diana prepares to hunt for the Book of Azrael with Liam.
And then we jump into chapters 22 to 32. So we are in Diana's point of view, traveling in a convoy with Liam to visit her friend Nim, hoping for info on an excommunicated witch. Diana tells Liam to let her do the talking.
Well, because this is Diana's
Like her group, her friend group.
She's like, yeah, I've got a friend over here. Let's go talk to him.
That can
But
probably
she
give us
doesn't really have friends.
Yeah, but it's somebody she's known for a long time. And so she's like, this person can give me some intel, but let me handle it. Don't say
she's
anything.
worried that, do these people know that I'm not with Caden anymore?
Oh, yeah. So Nim offers coffee. Diana drinks the coffee, but Liam refuses to drink it. They request travel documents and Sophia's location. 6 hours later, they take Nim's sedan to find Sophie, who seems startled to see them. No mention of Alistair's death, but Diana is relieved to finally have gotten there. Liam suspects Sophie is lying because they're like sitting there, they're talking to her, and she's kind of being a little shifty, but Diana defends her and confronts her alone. Sophie is caught speaking through a mirror and hinting at betraying Diana. I think Diana kind of confronts her and they start to fight. She attacks Diana with poisoned arrows, and Nim had also poisoned her coffee, so Diana was weak. As Diana loses consciousness, Liam enters. Diana wakes up dizzy, vomiting, then blacks out again. She awakens in a golden room, believing she's dead, and walks in on Liam and a woman in the throes of passion, and then realizes she's in a blood dream. So then Diana wakes in a bed after 2 days. Furious, Liam gave her his blood. She was super, not making it. She was pretty weak, and he was worried about her. So she panics, worried Caden is after them. She confides she has one true friend who's presumed dead, who might help, but only in secret. They stop for gas and snacks. Diana meets Riza, who just wants peace.
Riza's she owns the gas station. She's a otherworldly creature. She's like a spidery creature. But she's in like a fake human form.
So Diana slams Riza's head and gets information. Riza mentions someone they must meet at a festival and gives a contact number. So then Diana questions Liam's lack of sleeping and eating because she's realizing like he doesn't eat. Every time they stop for snacks, he doesn't get any. He's not sleeping anytime that she's with him. So she's starting to get a little bit concerned. He ignores any of her questions regarding his sleep and eating. And Liam finally falls asleep and Diana calls Gabby, who's adjusting to life with the Celestials. Then we jump to Liam's point of view. He dreams of his father and loses control of his powers, and he wakes to a destroyed room. Diana has bruises, and he's horrified. She comforts him and proposes a deal. She'll help with his nightmares, keep his secrets, and they'll stop fighting. They lie on the bed together. Diana asks about Liam's father and Logan because she's seeing all of this backstory of all of his dreams and the experience he had with his dad, and so she's trying to get him to open up. And she confesses she didn't kill Ezekiel. She combs his hair, and he falls asleep. So then we jump to Diana's point of view. She wakes Liam and admires him. She urges a food stop because she really is not eating what she normally eats. So she needs to stop and eat some like other regular food to
And what she
satiate
usually
herself.
eats is blood and people.
Yes. He magically dresses, and Diana admits that they need to go to the festival for a meeting and promises no more secret. They bond as they explore the
She
festival.
says no more secrets like 6 times, and she's like, after this one, no more secrets.
Like moving forward, but the secrets I've kept in the past,
Yeah,
those are going
but
to
don't
stay
count those.
secrets.
So then Diane confesses her desires for love. A contact texts her. Liam's POV, he enjoys the time with Diana, but he won't admit it. He kind of likes that she's a little snarky and that she is, so
She doesn't just
different
like
than the
fawn
other
over
people.
him.
Yes.
Like, oh, your majesty. In fact, she calls him that out of spite.
Yeah.
Like okay, your majesty.
And
Yeah.
she
Get
mentions
your
how
ass in
many
here.
lovers he's had in the past and how like I'm not going to be one of them.
Right.
So he watches how other men look at her because she is really beautiful. And the contact warns Caden.
You would never know that by the description of the
No,
book.
you wouldn't, but she is really beautiful. The contact warns Caden wants Diana back. Liam feels her fear. Driving away to an airport, they park and Diana climbs to the car roof. She makes Liam promise that if Caden takes her, he'll protect Gabby. Liam insists he'll never let that happen and realizes his deep feelings for Diana. Liam dreams of intimacy with Diana, which ends in horror. She turns to ash with a hole in her chest. Yeah. So he's like dreaming about like loving on her and just being with her intimately.
He was dreaming about banging her.
Yes.
About putting his penis in her.
And when he
Intercourse.
I don't remember exactly whether he's
Going
like
to
rolls away
Pound
from her or what he does.
She's got one ticket to Pound Town.
She turns to ash and there's a hole in her chest.
What a horrible
I'm just
way
moving
to
on.
climax.
And then we jump to Diana's perspective, and she wakes Liam from the nightmare. They had moved to the car for safety, and she teleports them to a forest near Drake's location. Unsure of the exact spot, they continue on foot. Diana speaks of Drake and Ethan. Suddenly, Drake tackles her in greeting, and Liam reacts violently. And Diana calms them, and they go to Drake's mansion because he thinks Drake has...
He's ready to fight him.
Yeah, he's like, Drake has a thing for you, and I don't like it. So Drake flirts with Diana, and it irritates Liam. Drake is shocked by Diana's blood bond with Liam and warns her. Liam arrives dressed sharply, intimidating Drake. Diana wears a dress Drake gave her. Oh, because she needed like a change of clothes, and so he's...
Well, he has like this whole closet, and he's like, whatever you want, my dear.
Well,
I
they're
have
like
plenty of sexy
brothers.
dresses for you.
Brother and sister is kind of how I took their relationship, but Liam turns it very sexual and is like, no, he wants to sleep with you.
He's clearly into you.
Yes.
Look at the dresses he's provided for you.
Yeah.
Your whole ass is out.
Yeah, you're dressed in some sexy outfit that he gave you. He
I
wants to
just
see you in
imagined
it.
it like micro dress with
Yeah.
like some tots out.
Yeah, but she doesn't have any tots.
Well, chest out, pectorals out.
She's like, oh, got a
All
great
ass
ass
and
and
pecs.
pecs are out.
Liam uses his magic and turns it into something like really beautiful and stunning. And they walk to dinner hand in hand. At dinner, Ethan and Drake are
Which
surprised
is
by...
a cool magic trick.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could magic the fuck out of some clothes.
He's like,
that's
you know
part
what?
of the book.
This
Seriously.
is at dinner. Ethan and Drake are surprised by Diana's look. The discussion turns really tense, and Ethan questions Liam's feelings. Liam claims Diana's just a friend.
It's not just questions her feelings. He's like, are you in love with her? Like, can't have another man in power in love with her. Are you in love with her?
Well, and like we saw how she looks at you. Do not give her flowers from my garden. Like, don't do all these
Don't
kind
woo her.
Basically,
Yes.
don't woo her if your goal is to leave back to your shit planet.
Yes. And so then Liam claims Diana's just a friend. Caden is after a book rumored to contain a way to destroy Liam. Camilla, a witch, has info but will sell it to the highest bidder. She despises Diana and won't let her bid. After dinner, Diana and Liam walk the grounds. Liam says gods grow cold over time. They talk about Caden's threat, Diana's fears, and share about their parents.
Again, not just they grow cold. Like, once they stop having feelings, they turn to stone. Literally turn to stone. So now we're into my chumps. We start with Liam's POV. He's watching Diana sleep like a creep. Just kidding.
It is though.
Admiring her beauty and her gentle nature. So unlike the beings from his world, Drake arrives, summoning Liam to Ethan's office. Ethan and Drake warn Liam to stay away from Diana romantically because they do go to the garden, like Drake's garden. and he
After dinner.
Yes, after dinner. You can't flirt with Diana and give her any sort of hope that there's something
Like
between
this girl
you.
is longing to be loved.
Yeah.
Don't do kind things to her.
Liam briefs Logan and Vincent, sharing Caden's location
And
map.
it's so weird. They like FaceTime call, but not.
But magical. He doesn't return to Dinah's room afterwards. Instead, he suffers nightmares of her dying and sexual dreams about her. Keeping himself busy with training, running, and reading, he tells Logan during a call that the dreams might be prophetic, but he doesn't know how to stop them. He just keeps envisioning her turning to ash with a hole in her heart, and he's like, I don't know how to stop. Diana's POV finds Liam in the library, brings him food, and questions why he hasn't been sleeping next to her for 2 weeks. Liam's POV, touched by her care, he feels lighter while speaking with her and eats the food that she made. Drake enters. Liam becomes jealous watching him interact with Diana. Now back to Diana's POV. She confronts Liam, realizing he's been avoiding her because of Drake and Ethan's influence. She explodes in anger, feeling hurt. She's like in this library and she's ready to just rip him apart.
Drake's still right there, and he's like, "You said what?" And Drake's like, "We may have said something."
Maybe. So then back to Liam's point of view. He's finding Diana in the training room and apologizes during a sparring session. They begin training together daily as they await Camilla's response. Camilla finally responds, agreeing to meet only with Ethan and Drake. So we jump back to Diana's POV. She disguises herself as Ethan and Liam as a bodyguard. They go to Camilla's villa. Entering the villa as Ethan, Camilla reveals she has Azrael's book. And more. Offers blood to keep up appearances. Both drink. Camilla sees through their disguise and demands a kiss to seal her deal with Liam. Which at this point, Diana's like, this bitch. This kiss becomes passionate. She's hurt and near tears, thinking Liam might feel things for others, but not for her. Like, he's never tried anything. He's so respectful and like
He's putting his tongue in her throat.
and he gets down. They get down on each other, like really tongue each other down. And then So Santiago walks in. It was a setup. Santiago was a vampire that works for Caden. Camilla restrains her and Liam with magic. She sees Liam pinned to a wall. Santiago threatens her with a gun. Irvakuvas wait outside the window.
They're like tapping on the glass.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah,
I
with
can't
their
wait
long
to get my
claws.
dirty claws on
Like,
you, bitch.
I just want to eat. Liam's point of view, he watches helplessly as Santiago shoots Diana. Realizes Camilla showed him her secret alliance against Caden and where Azrael's book is hidden during the kiss. Diana transforms into a beast and attacks Camilla. Witches shoot at him. He breaks free. He searches the manor for Diana, finds her, and escapes with her through the roof into the forest.
And he just has like the best jumps. Like he just jumps off the floor and flies through the fucking ceiling and lands in the forest half a mile away. We don't even know. He's got crazy trampoline legs.
Can he not fly? I thought he could fly this whole time.
No, he was just like boom, and he like bounced through the roof. And I imagined he had moon shoes on. Do you remember those?
Diana, furious and jealous over the kiss, tells Liam to never touch her again. Liam explains the kiss wasn't real and asks if she was jealous. Was it not obvious yet, Liam? As they lean in to kiss, blood bubbles from her mouth and Irakuva stabs her and drags her away. Liam hears her screams from all directions. He sees Irakuva's mimicking her voice, so he can't find her. He's got this great exquisite hearing, but because the Irakuvas are mimicking her voice, he can't figure out which direction she's in. He hunts them down, summons the Oblivion Blade, destroys them and the portal, but he tells Diana, look away. He destroys them and the portal they plan to use to take her
he like
to
stabs
Caden.
the blade into the ground.
Yeah.
And it starts like, I'd imagine like dark veins through the earth, and then it's like, Irakuva dead.
Yeah.
Irakuva dead.
Yeah.
Portal closed.
Seeing her injured and not healing, he flies Diana away because an Irakuva stab through the heart or whatever is like, it's not going to heal.
Irakuvas can kill
because
her.
She's
Igmorathin.
Igmorathin and they're almost Igmorathin.
They're failure Igmorathins.
They didn't live up to the expectations of their parents. Now they are failed. He finds a celestial home. They welcome him and offer their rooms. He uses his powers to heal Diana painfully. After showering, Liam calls Logan, who notes Liam seems happier. They agree the truth about Azrael's book could change everything. Liam hesitates at Diana's door. She tells him she's fine and to sleep in his room. Instead, he crawls into her bed, saying this is where he belongs. They nearly have sex, but stop out of respect for nearby celestials because these
gonna be too loud.
These can they can totally hear what's happening, right? And they're like,
And he's even like, when I take you, I don't want you to be burdened by being quiet.
Scream, bitch. I'm just kidding. I don't like that. That was not.
Which
was
also,
aggressive.
this tension was the best part of the whole book. And then
And I just
want to
say, it's in 40
nothing
fucking
happened.
one. We waited 41 chapters to get even a sliver.
we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Yep. Diana agrees to be quiet as Liam becomes more intimate. After her release, he kisses her forehead and they fall asleep snuggling because he does go down on her.
I was going to say, yeah, he does everything but penetrate.
Yeah.
The Last Chump Daddies, chapter 42 to 51. So Diana's point of Diana awoke and she's like, it's your turn now, Liam. And she goes down on Liam. Diana swallowed and was pulled up on to Liam's chest. She jokes that they are friends with benefits and Liam is offended. He's like, never call me your friend again.
Well, you did, asshole. You're the one who told Drake and Ethan, we're just friends. I swear we're just friends.
The back and
That
forth
was
here
before
was
he
just-
tasted her. Now they've been properly tasted, and now they are more than friends.
They've had many fellatio.
many a fellation. So Liam's phone was ringing, and they missed it because he was in bliss. They answered the call, and they missed the damn convoy, so they have to use...
Which is so funny.
Why do they need it if Liam can fly and, like, moon
And she
shoe
can
his
teleport.
ass? Yeah, I don't know. They're trying
Well,
to stay
she's
below
really-
the radar.
She's really weak, and yes, she's trying to get so
Like,
that...
Caden will sense my teleportation.
Yes, but still not him.
Yeah.
Why can't Liam?
But he
jump.
barely has the jumps, so he could jump up. So they fly to a temple to find the book. Liam tells her that he saw visions. He's not sharing with her what he's seen, but he's like, I've seen some disturbing things. And so they're waiting for this woman who will guide them to the book. And a short girl shows up. Her name is Ava. And Diana recognizes her aura, but didn't know why. She's like, you feel familiar, but I don't know what about it. There's a man behind her named Geraldo.
I was like, what?
He's introduced as her celestial guard. And Ava If you listen to the audiobook, I hated her talking. Like the voice that I've made in previous ones about an annoying talking girl, that's Ava. She's very chatty. She stumbles over her words. They make their way to the door in the stone, and they've traveled down a flight of stairs. And she's like, my dad was Azrael, and I got out with my mom, and my mom died years ago, and I'm here, and I have my guard, and I've been in hiding, and I'm ready to show you this book. The book is told to hold info on how to kill Liam and open worlds, which is why Caden wanted it. He wanted to open the world that was closed off by the Gods' War, so all of these additional otherworld creatures that he's the king of can come through and wreak havoc upon this world. They continue to walk through the temple, which is like catacombs, and they came to a dead end. And Diana's like, you guys are stupid. You've never seen a false door before? And she's like click-clacking on the door, and she's like, here, idiots, and like pushes it through. So they walk through the doorway, torches all along the walls light up, several stone monsters are carved on the stone walls, and Diana is smelling death. And she's like, well, we're in catacombs, so there's got to be death
Makes
in here.
sense.
It's just so strong. Ava skidded to a stop, and there was a huge cliff edge. Liam holds them as he jumps off the cliff edge, ending in disgusting water. Hours had passed as they keep walking, and Diana told him she's still sore, and so he picks her up and starts carrying her.
Oh, yeah, because she was all tore up from that fight.
They get to this room, and there's 4 stone coffins. They need to find Ava's mother's tomb. And Diana found the tomb, and upon touching the coffin, her skin starts to boil in pain. Liam runs over, and he's like, oh, let me open this with my magic. So he opens it. Reaching inside the crypt, they find the Book of Azrael. And clearly, it's not her mother's body in this coffin, because the Celestials, when they die, they turn into light and they float off into another world. But there is a corpse in that coffin holding the book. So they step away to leave the temple, and Ava was surprised they found it. She's like, wow, you opened it so easy. We've burned through a lot of Celestials to get in there. And they stop and they're like, what the fuck do you mean, other Celestials? And then Ava and Gerardo's body jerk and collapse.
Oh, yeah.
They had been dead and rotting the whole time, and that's why she smelled death everywhere. They were being used by puppets by Tobias. Diana's panicking. She's like, we gotta get out of here. We gotta leave, Liam. And then
she's so afraid of Caden throughout this whole thing, too.
She's
And
terrified.
Liam's like, I'm a god, okay?
Calm
It's
down.
gonna be
We'll
freaking
take care of you. Yeah.
and she's like, you don't understand.
You don't understand. And obviously,
He didn't.
he didn't.
So Tobias walks in, Diana launches at him, and he's quick to overtake her because she's still injured.
Weak.
Liam reacted and threw him against the wall. Tobias transforms into a monster, Hadlunin. Liam recognizes him as an Igmorathan king.
Oh, yeah.
And the crypt shakes as Tobias rises the dead around them.
Oh, yeah. He brings all of the
He was
people
like-
from the crypt around. Like, they're just, like, rising from the dead.
Yes.
Yes. So Diana and Liam flee from Tobias and his undead force. Liam realizes Tobias and Caden are ancient kings, making Diana a queen by association.
Damn.
Liam insists they go back for the Book of Azrael despite the risk. Diana tries to lure Tobias away by pretending to have the book. Tobias captures her and begins draining her life. Liam offers to trade the book for Diana, but she refuses. Diana tears Tobias's hand from her chest, ripping out her own heart. He reaches into her chest and is holding her heart.
Yeah.
And he's
threatening to pull it out to kill her.
Yeah, and Liam's like, I'll give you this book. Just give me Diana. And she's like, no. So she rips Tobias's hand out, pulling her heart.
Oh, yeah. Which
Killing,
she thinks is
essentially
gonna
killing
kill
herself. Yeah.
She
Right.
thinks she's going to kill herself by doing this.
So Liam, he revives Diana with his blood, sparking an argument over trust. Like, you didn't trust me to save you, bitch? Like, why did you kill yourself?
Yeah.
Tobias runs off with the book during the chaos.
Yeah, because he had to give up the book in order to save Diana, and you put me in that position. If you had just not been self-sacrificing,
Yes.
I would have been able to have both.
Yes. So Liam collapses from overexertion as they prepare to pursue Tobias. Diana calls Gabby and seeks shelter using her powers to manipulate a family. She basically walks up and she's like, hello, you want us to stay here? And they're like, we want you to stay here. While sleeping, she sees Liam's memories. In the memories, Liam is judged by the gods for his recklessness. Nismira and another one, Yzolt, harshly condemn him. Imogen provides evidence. Unir defends Liam, but later rebukes him privately. Diana sees the gods' war unfold. Liam's father sacrifices himself to save Liam. Consumed by grief, Liam uses the Oblivion Blade to kill gods and destroy Rashira. Liam's point of view, he wakes up worried about the cost of resurrecting Diana, because he did resurrect that bitch. And his father, even when his mom died, his father was like, there's too much cost to resurrect the person that I love the most. It's not worth I don't know what the cost would be. And it's not worth finding out. And he's like, well, I brought you back. We're going to find out.
Yes.
He confides in Logan, who questions Liam's feelings for Diana. Diana wakes up horrified by what she saw in Liam's memories and calls him world ender. She saw him destroy the world. In Diana's point of view, she confronts Liam about his past and fears he might kill her too. They sneak into the Celestial Council meeting using Diana's shape-shifting abilities. Cameron detects her scent, but Liam covers for her. So these other...
She's dressed, she looks like Imogen, right?
So Liam and Diana investigate the kings of Yejidin and find records missing. They visit Rekurum, the last fate, who offers a cryptic truth. I just thought of it as this giant three-headed thing in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the
I think
celestial.
so too. I think I did too.
It's in the stars, and this like three-headed thing is just sitting there. It offers some cryptic truths. Liam didn't resurrect Diana. Liam will die soon. Liam confides in Diana about his apocalyptic dreams, and they learn Nevera has been captured, and Gabby is missing too.
And it's not like you didn't resurrect Diana. It's like Diana didn't need you to do anything. She was fine. It wasn't your powers that resurrected her. It was just Diana, right?
Can't
She was
die.
going to come back to life anyways.
Yeah. You wasted your power, you moron.
So Liam and Diana search Caden's castle but find nothing. Diana breaks down emotionally. They return to Silver City and run into dead ends. A confrontation between them is interrupted when the TV switches on. Then it clicks over to Liam's point of view. A disrupting broadcast plays on every channel worldwide. Caden distorts the divine narrative and reveals that he has the Book of Azrael. Caden targets Diana directly, showing her loved ones on camera. Tobias drags Gabby onto screen.
Sure.
Gabby is forced to recite her and Gabby's goodbye ritual before...
Or Diana's.
Yes, because they say...
Remember that I love you.
Oh, yeah.
before Caden kills her. The magical bond between Gabby and Diana breaks. Diana transforms in a rage, unleashing destructive flames. Liam realizes she may be destined to end the world.
She might be the world ender.
Yeah.
And
You just
where
killed
we
her
had
sister.
The first book in the series
Of
gods
7.
and monsters.
All right,
All right.
well, let's go ahead and review this book. We did work on a 3-shot system. The 1 shot is I'm not coming back for more. 2 shots, it's good enough for another, but not worth the hangover. Or 3 shots, it got me up.
Yeah!
Nailed it.
Oh, you guys.
Since this was my pick, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I picked this book. I love a fantasy. I love them. This book was very, very popular on Book Talk. And I was like, oh, we're going to get this great dark fantasy. It was touted as an urban fantasy. So I'm like, it might be a little bit easier for rocks to get into.
Oh, yes.
And lo and behold, we were failed.
Failed.
I almost DNF'd this book.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked.
Hated that there was no world building. You had to guess what the fuck they were doing most of the time. Very little things were explained. I knew it was a series. I didn't know it was 7 books. I'm not even, you're lucky I finished 1. Like, I am not going back for any more. I thought after it's sick, because I did read this book like 2 months ago, like maybe I would feel a little bit. And then when I had to re-listen to do our chums, I was like, no, it's still a 1. It's 1 shot. Singular. Uno.
1 shot.
1
Yeah.
shot. I was not a fan.
Okay, I'm going to say it's definitely, I think I will not read 7 books unless the second book is just phenomenal. But I do think I was, especially at the end of the book, I was like willing to read the next one in the series. So I think for that reason, I will give it a 2 because technically I'm going back for more. I just don't know if I want a whole lot more, right? Like I just maybe a sip of the next book to see if I want to continue. So I'm going with a 2, but it's one of those instances where it's a tiny little pinky toe into a 2 only because I liked Diana. I didn't like her name, but I liked Diana. I thought she was sassy and cute. I liked Liam and hers banter back and forth a little bit. I liked that what she was bringing out. And then her turning into a monster, I was kind of curious to know, like, wow, her sister's dead. That's really the only thing she was living for.
Yeah.
What is she going? So there is like a little bit of curiosity for the second book. I just don't foresee me being interested for 7 books. That's a commitment I know. So a light 2.
1.75.
Yeah.
Still 2. We round up.
1.25.
Then we round down and it's a 1.
I'm giving this a 2.25. I'm just kidding. I will give it 1 shot. I was maybe considering a 2 because at one point I did get interested.
Wow.
It took about 40 chapters.
When the fellatio happened, is that when you got interested?
Well, and even then it was like
It was good
mediocre
fellatio.
at best.
Yeah, it was not great fellatio on my
But like
end.
the tension and
The tension was good.
The tension lasted too long.
It lasted
Yeah,
forever.
way too
okay,
long.
I agree with that. Yep.
So I'm gonna go with a one shot, and I think that I agree that I can't do 7 books. I could barely do the one.
Yeah.
I didn't have much to comment on.
Another pinky toe and a 2.
Yes. And so, no disrespect to the author, but that is just too much.
Yeah.
I
in
don't
a
mind a
series.
lengthy series. I don't mind one.
But this series, I think it didn't need to be 7.
No,
I mean,
this
we don't
this
know.
didn't
We
even
don't know
need to
what
be
the other
one.
6
This
are.
didn't even need to exist.
If this could be a 0, that's where Rachel would have landed.
All right.
But according to her own rules.
According to my own rules,
don't do
I must
0.
pick one. It is a 1. It's a 1 leaning towards a none.
All right, well, there you have it.
Well, there you go, guys.
That's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We survived our quest through Book of Azrael by Amber v. Nicole, even if it felt like we were dragging a broken wagon through a plot swamp. The magic may have fizzled, but the prompts are posted, and we know you've got thoughts. So hit subscribe. We're back with hopefully a better adventure next Wednesday.
Yes, be a pal. Leave us a review. It helps other cocktail-loving bookworms crash our party. And trust me, your words make us squeal louder than a plot twist at midnight.
You're part of our book club now. Follow us at Lit on the Rocks Pod and drop by literatureontherocks.com. We saved you a drink.
Until then, may your magic systems make sense and your cocktails be stronger than the world building in this book. Cheers!
Toodaloo!
Bye.